He's going to go first.
Okay.
If you guys just want to talk a little bit about just the reflection on the season as a whole, obviously coming up short here tonight wasn't the goal, but looking back, third straight Skyline Conference Championship and being able to be in the NCAA tournament for a third straight year, something to hang your hats on. So if you guys want to just talk about the season as a whole.
I think that we had a more challenging season this year, and I think the team did a really good job pushing through and persevering through there were a lot of challenges, and some weeks were a lot harder than others, but I really think we pushed ourselves and pushed each other too, and that was really important.
Yeah, for sure, going off of what she said, definitely was very challenging. Our setter last year, that was her last year, of course. It was very hard to find that leader again. So luckily we all came together and we found how each of us had an important role and how we could all come together in order to build that team again.
I agree with both Ayla and Grace. I also do think it was a great season, although it was very challenging. But also I think with the upperclassmen we had and the leadership and going off of that, I think the upperclassmen have made such a great impact on this program, and I think their leadership really helped along the way.
Yeah, just to kind of mirror what the players were talking about, I think in general it was definitely an uphill climb this year, compared to the last couple of years, and I think we didn't peak really until about a couple of weeks ago, whereas that may have happened earlier in the season, maybe over the last couple of years, but I think the endless, the work ethic and, kind of just the attitude and willingness to show up to practice every day and just work hard and kind of work through those tough times is, what got us to this point. So I'm really proud of what we did this year.
And I'm sure you guys know this, the definition of a valiant. One is valiant of heart, nothing is impossible. So you just basically, what the three of you just said defines what you're called as your team, so bravo to you. I'm sure you knew that, right? Shake your head yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Coach, first question to you. What lessons will you take from this year as you open camp, either for your non-traditional season in the spring or as you open camp in August?
Yeah. I think there's always room to get better, right? There's always room to improve and be able to compete, and learning to put your best foot forward, and always have an open mindset about constantly learning. We talk a lot about having a growth mindset and having the ability to learn from tough times like this, and we talk about there's winners and there's learners, right? And being a learner and what that means with that, and having the the right attitude to be able to bounce back from this, and what can we take away from this, and hopefully kind of tell that in the future.
Whether you're moving on or whether you're returning, what advice would you give next year's team if you could talk to them prior to them opening up preseason camp from what your experiences were this year?
I'd say stick together and have each other's backs always, and really just I think determination and mental toughness are two big things too that will help them get to where they want to be next season.
For me personally, if I had to give them advice, it would be just to communicate more. Nothing will get resolved if that's not there in the court or off the court. And having discipline, I feel like that's super important both as a student athlete and a player.
So, as someone who is returning next year as a senior, I think I would definitely tell my teammates just to stick together, going off of what Ayla said, and I think also having a growth mindset is going to be really important for next year as we're losing a lot of key players from this fall, and I think that's going to be really crucial in just working together and keep communicating with each other.
What is something special about being an NCAA tournament participant?
I mean, I think even if this is the third year we've been here, it's still a really big deal and a really big opportunity that, you know, not a lot of people get to experience. So, and this being like my last year, you know, I really just took it all in and had fun and, you know, just tried to remember like every moment of it.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like we should all feel special in a way. Like, not everyone can say that they've participated 3 times in a row. So I think it is something that we really shouldn't take for granted.
Going off of what Grace said, I think participating 3 times in a row for the team itself and for the program is really special. And I also think just going through the process of like going through playoffs and just the regular season in itself, I think the process is like worth it at the end.
Yeah, I think you know, actually I was able to play in the tournament as a player, and you know, now being able to coach in it as well is, you know, I don't think there's anything better than making the NCAA tournament. I think it's you know, it's extra, right? It's you know, you do your job during the season, you win your conference, and then you get to, you know, compete against the best and play against the best, and you know, kind of see what that next level is like. You know, everyone has a chance, you know, a shot at winning that national title. I think that's really cool. You know, hats off to Juniata. I think they've done a great job just like putting on a show as far as, you know, signage and, you know, welcoming us, and, you know, the people here have been awesome, and just kind of creating that, you know, NCAA championship vibe, right, has been really cool. You know, the practice, the bus rides, and meals together, you know, those are kinds of things that, you know, we said at the end of the match, right, that, like, you know, we lost the match, but this moment in time, like, right, is locked in your history, you know, forever. So it's something that you guys can always look back on and, you know, kind of remember as.
I can't think of a better way to close. Thank you so very much for your time after this match, and wish you the best as you move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.